I'm gonna hurt myself. Good morning, everyone. Right? You know what I'm saying? Welcome back. We're here. We're doing another film. What do you call it? Film Club. Filmstruck Film Club. Maybe you've never been here before. In which case, hello. I'm Carson Higgins. This is Groot. We like to watch movies together, and every week we put out a video like this because every week in the Filmstruck Film Club we watch a new movie. A lot of times it's going to be on the Criterion Channel. A lot of times it's going to be available other places too. So if you don't have Criterion Channel, you're not out of luck. But the film that we watched this week was from the Criterion Channel, and boy was it awesome. We have watched a film by this director before in this club. And he's one of the greatest filmmakers of all time. He's Japan's Yasujiro Ozu. So maybe you've seen Tokyo Story. That's his big famous movie. In this club, we watched Late Spring, which is another part of the Noriko trilogy, which is what Tokyo Story is, blah, blah, blah. We watched one of his later films. It's from 1959. It's in color. It's his second color movie. Because for those that don't know, Ozu used to make silent films in Japan. He made a ton of black and white movies in Japan. And then he made color movies. And what he did that I think is so cool is he took some of his early silent films and just some of his earlier films and he remade them. So this film, Good Morning, is actually based off another film that I really should have wrote down. I didn't write it down, but I'll put the poster right there. This is the film that was the start for the film that we watched this week, which was Good Morning, or Ohio. And it's such a charming movie. Any film that highlights farting as much as this film did is a film that I like. I'm a big fan of Swiss Army Man. If you've never seen Swiss Army Man, there's plenty of farts in that as well. But who knew that farting could be so wholesome in a Japanese film from the 50s about two little boys who really want a television? Yeah. This movie's great. It's seriously so charming. If you've never seen an Ozu film before and this was your first one, what a great first foray into the work of Ozu. Because it has, all of his signature style and all of his signature themes. He likes to kind of dissect and look into the different generational interrelationships of a family, of a town, of a country. So this film perfectly fits in with that theme, where we have tiny children, the people above them, and even some grandparents, right? So we get three generations of people that we're dealing with in this film. And it's just, I've already said it before, but it's so charming. Two boys like going over to their neighbor's house where there is a television because they like watching sumo wrestling with their other two friends. And of course, the boys are like, Mom, if you don't want us to go over there all the time, you could always just get us a TV. And she's like, hell no, I'm not getting you a TV. And so, rebellion ensues. The two boys are like, I don't know what their age gap is, but the older one seems like he's maybe 12, and the younger one seems like he's maybe 4. There's some really fun scenes where they're home from school and they're practicing English, and the little boy just keeps saying, I love you, to everything, whether it's hello, goodbye, it doesn't matter. He's saying I love you all the time. And it's really charming and cute. I can't stop using that word, I guess. But yeah, they eventually get their mother to understand so much how badly we want a fucking television that we're gonna go on strike. We are taking a vow of silence until you buy us a television. And the silence is, it's an honorable thing that they're after. Is we're going to take this vow of silence until we get what we want. But of course, doing that leads them to all kinds of things that they don't want, like being hungry, because they don't communicate to their mother that they need money for lunch at school, and so then they're hungry. And the little kid is always trying to figure out when he's allowed to talk to his brother, so he's always trying to get this is the signal for can I talk yet? Yeah, I really loved this movie. I'm a big Ozu fan. The first one I watched of his was Tokyo Story, and it is, like they say, one of the best films ever. And then Late Spring was also just a delight. I didn't know what to expect when I watched Late Spring. And similarly with Good Morning, I didn't know it was going to be so funny. You can definitely watch this with the kids. You can watch this with anybody, honestly. This is an all ages film. So now let's dip into this farting stuff. This movie is kind of famous for all the farts because the little boys have this game, which you may have seen me doing at the top of this, where they push on the forehead. It's kind of like a pull my finger sort of situation. They push the head and then they fart. But of course, one of the friends isn't like good at it, and so he keeps crapping his pants, which then of course makes his mom upset. And there's another man in the film that like farts just all the time. He works at the gas company or something, which is just too funny. But yeah, no, the use of the farts is really it's purposeful. It's not just for empty laughs. The boys at one point talk about how like adults don't even talk for real anyway. They say good morning, how are you, but they don't mean what they say. And so it's kind of fun that Ozu uses this fart as like a form of communication. The guy that I was mentioning who's older, who keeps farting and works at the gas company, there was an amazing scene where he is changing in his bedroom and he keeps farting. But his wife pops in and says, yes, like as if he was saying her name or something. And so the little confusion over, are you trying to talk to me or are you just farting? Actually does kind of have a purpose, right? We are kind of exploring the nature of shit talk. What can I say? That's what it is. There's a ton of gossip in this film as well. I didn't even touch on that whole part of the storyline where the women in this little suburb, there's a discrepancy over where the dues went for this women's club. They pay monthly dues or something, and there's confusion because the dues have gone missing, and the woman who was responsible for putting them in was like, I fucking did that. So they have a little like kind of gossipy, toxic, fake relationship amongst themselves that also kind of ties into the fact that these farts are not just for laughs, even though they do get laughs pretty much whenever they happen, which is a lot. But no, just kind of this notion of immature communication, right? And then, of course, we end with a beautiful shart as well. The boys have finally ended their vow of silence because their parents did, in fact, get them a television, which may be, not the greatest thing to teach your kids. Like, just be super stubborn and you'll get what you want. But no, they weren't just stubborn. There was honor in their quest for this television. But yeah, they get their TV, and then of course they walk to school and they're playing that little fart game, and the same kid craps his pants, and that's the end of the movie. So if you begin and end a movie with sharding, you're basically doing everything right. So really glad that we watched this Ozu film. And if it was, like I said, if this was your first one, please, by all means, go explore some of his other titles. I have so many more of his films that I want to watch, but Tokyo Story, of course, is a great place to go. So if you haven't done that and you enjoyed this, go check that out and let me know. The dad in this film is also the dad in that film. He worked with Ozu quite a bit. So you'll see some familiar faces. But yes, that's it. Right, Groot? Anything else? He's such a fart machine. Follow us at Filmstruck Film Club. We do a film every week, so there'll be another pick tomorrow, and we'll do another one of these a week from then. But it is the first of the month, so for any of my friends who do have Criterion Channel, there's a bunch of new stuff on there, so maybe we'll watch something new on there. But anyway, yeah, I'm so glad that you stopped by and that you checked out this movie and that you checked out this video. Yeah, so enjoy the rest of your week. I hope you're all doing well. Hit me up if you want. Let me know what you thought of the film, and we'll see you soon. Farewell.